So here's another. We're gonna transition. This is gonna lead nicely into the next thing, um, which is also a dead and dying technology, except not really yet. I wouldn't call this one dead or dying. It's dead or dying to me, which isn't saying much, but admittedly, um, it's physical keys for doors. Okay. And a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Physical keys, that's just how doors work, right? And I'm going to offer you an alternative way. It doesn't need to be that way. And I know there are reasons to argue for this, like a smart lock or a whatever, that like there are things to complain about this. But when I see like new houses being built and they have a smart thermostat system, they've got like cameras on the outside of the house, they'll have a smart doorbell that you can answer while you're gone. Like I like all of those things generally. And then they have physical keys for all of the external doors on the house. And that boggles my mind. Like it's been an industry standard in businesses for a number of years now. Like if you're in a large city and you have a business or some kind of business building, you have a badge or a key card or a fob or a something that has to be scanned at the front door, at elevator, at door to office, whatever. Like that's been the standard forever, and physical keys are a backup, right? And Google or Nest rather, Yale is one of the brands I know makes these. Like there have been smart locks for your house for a number of years, and I know that they're a little more expensive than like putting in a regular lock. Like I'm gonna say significantly. Like let's just be honest, it's significantly more expensive, but I'm going to pitch the peace of mind here. You're laying in bed late at night. It's 1 a.m. and you just can't sleep. And you've just watched some scary movie, right? Everybody does this and you're like, crap, a serial killer is going to break in my doors right now and I'm so dead. I am so dead. And so you get out of bed because you're like, I'm going to go check all of the doors. And then if you've got a substantially large house, like my parents have a fairly large house with a number of external doors, you're going to be walking around the house. You're going to go check the door that comes out of the basement, your front door, your back door, the man door on the garage, the actual garage door, whatever else. You might even check some windows, right? Whatever. Um, what if I told you that there's a way for you to just open up your phone and see that all of those doors are physically locked and secured? Okay, now I'm going to pitch you this again. You're at work and you left your house and there's nobody at home and you're like, crap, is somebody going to break into my house, right? Well, I've got a crazy thing for you. You don't have to go home and lock all of your doors or just live with the anxiety of your doors being unlocked. You can straight up just lock your doors from there, right? And then this is the part that actually gets me. When you come home and your doors are all locked and you've got to fumble around in your pants pocket and then you left your keys in the car. So then you go back to your car, you open your car, get your keys out, you go back to the door, you fumble around with your keys, you jam the one key and you realize it's the wrong silver key. So you put the silver key away and you pull out the other silver key, you jam it in the door, wiggle it, it doesn't move. So then you do the little back and forth with the door and then you open it. And you could have just avoided all of that because you could just walk up to your door with your phone or a fingerprint or a pin pad or whatever and just unlock the door. Like, I know that this is such a minor thing, but these tiny things bug me every single time I do them. And so I'm always thinking about this could be better. And I don't understand like, and I know what you're gonna say, Brian. I know what the words are gonna come out of your mouth are, but I don't understand why more people haven't cared enough about that or known that that exists because, like, it that bothers me. That bothers me every single time. And before anybody says, well, but it's less secure, okay, maybe, but do you have any idea how easy it is to pick locks? Brian and I have both, independent of each other,
Done it.
learned how to pick locks just from 2 minutes of YouTube videos. Like padlocks, especially. Like if you have a padlock on anything, bro, uh, that is peace of mind at best.
Combination locks are a little better.
Only barely. They can be shimmed open with an aluminum
You're
can.
not
Like
wrong.
and some of them, if they're the crappy ones, you apply a little force and then you just turn it until it kind of has some resistance, and you know that that's one of the numbers, and then you just do it.
I
Like
know.
there's 3 or 4 different ways, easy ways.
I'm just saying they're a little better.
True, but a front door, like if someone actually wants, if you want to do an experiment, call up a locksmith and ask them to break into your front door and see how long it takes them. And again, this is an experienced
if you
person,
want,
but
if you want an experiment, just go to Amazon and get a set of lock picks.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
just
12
pick your own
bucks,
door. Yeah,
and you'll get you right in your house, no problem.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay. So maybe it's not very secure, but it's definitely not worse than a regular lock on your door. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Would you replace your locks with smart locks, or is there something that would like prevent you from doing that other than price?
So other than price, no. If it were cheaper to do it, I would just do it. Yeah. There's no real reason. It really is costly. Like if you want like an actual, security system along with some sort of like entry pad process, like you're going to spend a lot of money doing it. And I don't, from a consumer perspective, I just don't think it's worth the time. I also don't think that it provides you with any more security. Like I think a camera on the outside of your house to track what's going on
Is
in and out
better
of your house is
deterrence.
probably just a better deterrent, and you can get way cheaper. Like if I wanted good locks on my house, it's going to be $500 or $600, and you can get a decent camera for $99.
That's true, but if you want to watch all of the angles on your house, then it's going to be about the same either way.
Sure, but I mean, if you're just talking like deterrent processes, because that's all the locks are.
Mm-hmm.
All locks are is a deterrent.
Right.
So a better deterrent process is just hang a camera on your front porch.
I would agree with that in one way. I think that the security factor, I think you're getting more probably with cameras on each of the spots in your house, but convenience, the cameras give you no convenience in any way, shape, or form. They're just pure security. Whereas the locks, maybe there's some peace of mind, but there's some convenience associated with that as well, with the not having to worry about physical keys. So,
but I don't think people care enough about the convenience factor. This is another situation where this is the
I'm
way
exceptionally lazy.
This is the way that this has been for so long,
Yeah.
and it's really not that big of a deal.
I admit that I am exceptionally lazy, and I also nitpick small things a lot.
I don't know that it's lazy or nitpicky. I think that it's your generation that will end up making this happen. It'll end up being. Is there a bug there?
No, just a fuzz.
Oh, fuzz. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Did everyone see the fuzz on the wall?
yeah, it was
Thanks
just
for
me.
letting us know. I think it's your generation that makes this happen.
Mhm.
Like this is the time frame where we're transitioning away from like the traditional processes
Right.
of everything, work, contact, communication, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it blows my mind that my kids use the social media to talk to their friends and not just call them on the phone or go
text
or go visit or text.
Mm-hmm.
Like texting is not even a thing. If you're 14 to 18 right now, like
It's Snapchat,
today,
it's
you're-
Instagram.
and you're texting, you're a loser at school.
Yeah.
Like basically, like
I mean that's true. My little sister, her primary method of communication with everyone is Snapchat.
yeah.
So
And I think those are all good things, but I also think that there's way more people than in your generations that are still doing things the old way.
yeah, but
Like I would take this one step further, and I would say that there's a perceived security around physical locks, like with a key,
right.
that people distrust the technology version of that.
Uh-huh.
Lots of people still distrust the technology version of that. Like, how hackable is my front door now? Like, that becomes like we've fear-mongered hacking, and I'm gonna have my personal identity stolen,
Right.
and I'm gonna apply the tech that's hackable for my identity to my front door, and then people can get in and steal my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also take that one step further. If you have stuff in your house that is so valuable, you should probably not have it in your house.
Or have a safe.
Yeah, or have some other method to keep it safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to talk about two other things though on this topic
On physical keys?
on physical
Okay.
keys. I have
Hit
a
me.
lot of feelings about this.
Okay,
I've said
I
this
can
before.
tell.
I listen. This is Do you want to know the genesis of this really
Sure.
quickly?
Yeah.
That
Actually,
story that I
I'm kind of
told
curious.
about fumbling with the keys and everything,
Yeah.
that happens to me on a bi-weekly-ish basis in some form or another. Either A, I'm going to the gym. I don't like having my keys in the gym, right? My physical keys in the gym in my pants pocket in my gym shorts. So it's flopping around and smacking me in the nuts while I'm running, right? Like I don't like that. And I'm not going to wear it around my neck either. I have my car key around my neck because it's fairly light, but I'm not going to do that either because when I'm running, it also thumps on my chest. And so I don't
Sure.
want to do that. So I leave the keys in my car and I lock my car and then I bring my car key in and put the car key in a locker, right?
Okay.
But then when I go home, my keys are now in a little cubby area in my car. And so I've just gotten home from the gym. I'm excited to get inside where it's cool and I can, you know, take a shower and get dressed or whatever. And so I get out of my car and oh boy, I'm so happy to get inside my house. And I walk up to my door. And again, I live in an apartment, so it's not like I'm walking from my garage, car
In
in
your
garage.
house.
Yeah, it's a, you know, there's a little bit of a distance between my car and my front door. And I get to my front door and realize I don't have my house keys. And then I turn around, go unlock my car, get my keys out, go back to the door, unlock the door, and go in. And I'm like, this doesn't have to be this way. This doesn't have to be this way.
So why don't you just attach a little like key box on your front porch?
I live in an apartment. I can't really modify my
I mean,
my
you could
front door.
Put something on there that's magnetic.
Yeah, but then someone could just grab my keys and take them off.
Someone
of
can
my
just
door.
break into your house. What's the difference?
True, but you have to be a little dedicated to break into your house. You can just be straight up a troll and realize that you can pull something off of someone's front door.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're pulling the thing off, and then they got to go break it open to get your house key out.
Well, I'm not like if it's just a troll grabbing the thing, that's not that big of a deal. I would want to change my locks though at that point.
Sure.
But you know, then if someone's just trolling me and grabs the thing off my front door, then I'm gonna go and change my locks for nothing. I don't know. None of these are amazing solutions, right?
You could do the security rock.
My
I had a friend who left a front door key under his doormat for a decade, and nobody ever broke into his house.
I believe. Well, it's always the
and we all knew it was there. Anytime anyone wanted to go over, we just go open the door and go hang out.
well, it's always the like 1 or less % chance, right? Like, it's pretty likely if you live in a relatively safe neighborhood, it's pretty unlikely that you're ever actually going to be robbed
Sure.
in your life. Like your house is actually going to be broken into,
But a
right?
camera would fix your problem too.
Mostly, yeah. But I also can't modify the front of my thing and drill a camera into the deal. Like it all needs to be removable unless I want to sacrifice my security deposit so that they can fix my. I mean, they're probably going to do that anyway, but that's a whole other rant. Apartment rants are that's its own thing. So, and then here's my other.
You could stop forgetting your keys in the car.
Yeah, that would be a solution, wouldn't it, Brian? But here's the other version of this. Here's the other version because I told you there's multiple versions of this.
Okay.
Here's the other version. We go shopping, okay? Or we go pick up our pickup from the store, right? And so we've got all the stuff in the back. And I always like to shove Emily out of the way and pick up all of the groceries. It's kind of a little game I play with myself. Can I actually carry all of the groceries in?
Yeah.
There's
a lot of people that play this game, and it's really dumb.
It's hilarious. I did it in college too when I lived 4 flights of stairs up in an apartment way away from my car. I would load up all of my arms and your butt cheeks with the bag and hike up the stairs. But anyways,
Did the butt cheek bag ever stay there?
No, that was
so you were back down the stairs no matter what.
No, that was a little bit facetious. I wasn't actually using the butt cheek clench method on the in college.
I figured.
I don't know if my butt cheeks have ever been quite that toned, but anyways, the other version of this is that we'll like I'll have all of the groceries and my wife will be like, well, I'll just grab your keys. And so I'm like, okay, grab my keys, right pocket. And then she's already in my left pocket. I'm like, nope, right pocket. And so she goes right pocket and then grabs my keys. I'm like, okay, now it's the it's that the house key, right? And of course her keys look slightly different than mine, so she goes for the silver key instead of the bronze key, or the bronze key instead of the silver key, or whatever the case may be, and tries opening the door, and then that doesn't work, and then she jams it in and is upside down because her keys are slightly different.
How
than
many
mine.
keys do you have on your keychain, and
Four.
why?
4.
Why?
You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know
'Kay.
why.
This is a bad idea to show keys on camera.
Don't show the key then.
Okay, all right. One of these keys is my house key.
Okay.
It's that one. Okay, that's my house key. One of these keys from the camera. I don't want people like. Okay, one of these keys. This one right here. This is in the office where I work.
Why do you have that?
Just in case the power shuts off and I need to get in the
If the
doors
power
physically.
if the power shuts off, they're like, who cares?
And besides,
We know another way to get in there now.
anyways, this key is to my parents' house, so that if I ever
You don't
to
need
go-
that.
What?
You don't need that.
Why not?
Just keep that in your car.
I might be able to. I might be able to do.
I don't
that.
have a key to my parents' house.
I know, but that's because they have a pin pad.
I don't know the PIN code.
What? I knew it at one point for your parents' house. Anyways, this last one, secret. I'll tell you later. And that
So you carry at least 3 keys you don't need. You're carrying at least 3 keys around that you could just put in your car or in your office somewhere. And
okay, but having the office key in the office defeats the purpose of having the office key.
why?
Because if I need to get in the office, I know we've talked. There's another way to do this, but
It's
I'd like
not-
to avoid that
but
if possible.
I don't think it's your responsibility to maintain access to the office.
I have been officially gifted the responsibility of
I
maintaining access to the office.
think that's stupid.
And the good Lord above knows that the physical security officer is not going to be responsible for this. So
Can't say that.
I know for a fact that
You can't say that. We're gonna have to edit that out.
I'll make that into a short. You got to be.
Make that into a short. You're gonna have to.
Anyways, keys bug me. I see an inefficiency in my daily life that does not need to be there. And here's my last thing about this.
Okay.
This. Okay. We were talking about how people have this perception of like it's safer or it's less safe or whatever,
Uh-huh.
right? Well, here's the crazy thing. Automakers solved that problem 20 years ago when they started making just about all cars come standard with a key fob. Like, I know that there's some people who are like, okay, well, like
I have a fairly new Suburban that does not have a key fob. Still has a key.
that is not a fairly new Suburban.
Yeah, it is a fairly new Suburban.
What year is it?
2019.
What? Am I thinking of a different car?
I don't know. The black one?
Did you buy it used? Because if you bought it used, that means they lost the key fob and it costs $300
No.
to replace. Because
No.
that's how much it actually costs. to
Still has the
replace
key. Chevy still makes cars with keys and without key fob, without like a push button start option. They're still manufacturing new cars that way. Go look.
Are you talking about a different fob than I am? I'm not like I'm talking about just you push a button and it unlocks the car.
Sure.
On this Suburban, you physically have to insert a key into the door.
No,
every
I thought
single
you were
time
talking
to
about the start, like
no,
the start
no,
option,
no, no, no,
push
no.
button start.
That's still not. That's still not. I'm just talking about unlocking your car.
Okay,
You walk up.
unlocking.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
different then.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about physical doors on houses here.
But you're talking about cars with
Okay, okay,
fobs
okay. All right.
to do the process of doing your car.
Yeah, okay. I understand the confusion. Automakers made it so that just about every like 20 plus, not 20 plus, but probably a little less than 20 years ago, just about every car was coming with a fob to unlock the door.
Yes, you're
Right?
correct.
Right?
That is correct.
How many people do you think nowadays actually still walk up to their door, stick the key into the door, and do the little unlock to unlock their door? I would guess that it's like less than 1% of the population that doesn't feel comfortable just using the key fob
I
to
would
unlock
think it's
the door.
higher than you think it is.
I don't think so.
I would think it's a lot higher than 1%.
I have ridden with all of my grandparents in vehicles at different times,
Uh-huh.
great grandparents,
Uh-huh.
parents,
who all
aunts and uncles,
newer vehicles.
yeah, newer than 2005,
Yeah.
and
I
have
bet
a fob
I bet
and
you
just
if you
use
looked
the
up
fob.
I bet you if you looked up how many cars are still on the road in the United States that are older than 2003, you'll find a lot. There's a lot of cars. There is a significant amount of cars.
That's true, but considering that all of those are worth $600, I bet they just don't lock the door.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's still people that are walking up to the thing. I bet it's a lot higher than 1%. That's my argument.
Okay, fair enough. But that doesn't really matter for the point of the argument, for the sake of the argument. How many
Okay.
people do you think if I was to give them a car with a fob, right? How many of them would not feel comfortable unlocking the car with the fob and would continue using a physical key for everything no matter what?
I don't know.
I would guess that most of America would just use the fob, the very vast majority.
Okay.
And so the problem here is not, I don't think, is the perception of security. The problem is that I think there's a decent portion of the population that isn't aware these exist. There's a decent portion of the population that know they exist, but it's too expensive or they just don't care enough. And then there's a decent portion of the population that know they exist. It's not too expensive. They do care a little bit, but they just haven't gotten around to it. So I actually am going to say the problem is actually probably modern home builders. I'm going to say, actually.
You're talking now back for front doors.
Yeah, for
It's
front doors.
100% modern home builders.
Because they put smart thermostats and smart
Yeah, but that's a
random
different
stuff.
that's a different thing. Like the contractor that's putting the front door on, like the margin for putting front doors on homes is so small. They're making like $20 a door. They'd have to.
I think
they'd
that's
have
the
to.
same
They'd have
contractor.
to. No, it's probably a subcontractor of the contracting
I don't
business.
think so.
That'll be like a Finnish carpenter guy.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the one putting the lock on the door.
I bet she is. I bet they go around either that or it's somebody in the home builder that they're paying $8 an hour to go put front door locks on.
Yeah, but they just install the front door lock that they're given. So it still comes down to the person buying the front door locks and giving them to the people doing the thing.
Okay.
Because
and the margin for that is super small. A $40 lock is way easier to sell somebody than a $250 lock.
Yeah, but you would say the same thing about a $2 thermostat.
I wouldn't say the same thing about a $2 thermostat.
Really? So in your opinion, this is an interesting one. We're getting into the meat of this.
Okay, let's hear it.
Last time, I actually don't know if I've gotten around to publishing this yet because I was so ashamed of the echo in it. It was so bad. But last time we talked a little bit about smart things that don't need to be smart. And I think we're getting into this. Brian, do you find more value in the smart thermostat than in a smart door lock? Then?
I do, yeah.
You do, okay.
Yeah.
Explain your own experience with it. Expound.
I am not that concerned about walking around my house at night and checking the doors. Like it's something that I do that makes me feel more secure than if I were laying in bed and just hit a button that locked all my house. Also, I have a couple of doors that are locked almost all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. Like the only time that the back sliding door is unlocked is if the cat has been outside or something like that, right? Like it's not so my garage door, like I like to go around and check the doors. It just makes me feel more secure and safe that I physically went and looked. If I were to combo a smart lock system and a camera system so that I could see it, then I would have the same level of comfort about going upstairs and going to bed or being upstairs and staying upstairs and checking the front doors. Like it's a personal habit. It has nothing to do with the door lock. I would probably still do it even if I had smart locks. Like I would still walk up to the front door. I'd still open it, like breathe in some night air, look outside. Sometimes I walk out onto my front porch and stand there for a minute.
Cat.
Yeah, right. Like do that same process. And then I'd walk back in the house and then hit the lock button on my phone. Like I'd probably still end up doing that. So it's a necessity thing, and it's also like I value adjusting the temperature in bed when I'm warm and I want to turn the heat up 20 minutes before I get out of bed. That's way more
value to
beneficial
me-
and
to you.
way more value to me
Really?
than getting out of bed and walking downstairs, freezing my ass off, and then turning the thermostat up.
I see. Okay.
And I think that there's a lot of people that are still in that same
I think
boat.
no, I think you're probably right. I've had the smart thermostat for a while. I am not super picky about temperature. I like it. I think it's provided some value, and it definitely gives me some money savings, and I like that. Like
Sure, yeah.
I like not having to worry about that piece of it. So I do appreciate that part of the smart thermostat, but I find myself more bothered by having to drop what I'm carrying and pull my dumbass keys out of my pocket to unlock the door than like I'm laying in bed and I'm cold. Like my
See, you need a kid. This is your big problem. Like my frustration with keys left the minute I could give one of them a key and say, "Go unlock the front door," and they're happy to do it. It's like an amazing little adventure for young people to go unlock the front door and then hold it while I haul all my stuff in.
I see. Interesting.
I give you 3 or 4 more years before that comes to fruition, and then you'll realize that this rant that you have in your brain is not functional.
I still think it is. I still think it is. Like
We'll revisit that.
we'll revisit. Yeah, we'll revisit. And
After
besides,
you've had that experience.
also, that's really generous, 3 to 4 years, because it's going to be probably another 2 at least before we have a kid. I would guess.
I'm not.
So it's gonna
You'll
be
have
6
similar
after that.
experiences about getting juice out of the fridge.
Yeah, well, currently there is no robot to get juice out of the fridge for me,
As soon as there's a robot or a kid,
or a kid, or a child. Do I trust a child to get juice out of the fridge for me though?
you should absolutely.
I should.
Yeah.
Like you think it's good for them, or it's
Yes.
oh okay.
It's very character building.
Getting juice out of the fridge is
Yeah.
character. You heard it here first, everyone. This is like parenting with Brian. If you haven't asked your kid to get juice out of the fridge, then what are you doing? Like honestly,
I don't know. I really don't. Well, juice, soda, hooch, whatever it is you're drinking.
right? Yeah.
Whatever you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go give me a root beer.
Cool. Oh man. Okay.
Like the eye roll alone that you get from a kid when you ask him to do something for you is priceless. Like if I don't make
you delight in torturing your children.
if I don't make them mad at me or have an eye roll situation at least once a day, I don't feel like I'm doing my job as a parent.
Okay. All right.
Like think about the amount of times you rolled your eyes at your mom, and the man you are today is partly because of that.
I mean, I don't know if it's because of the eye rolls, but it definitely is because of my mom for sure.
It's for sure the eye rolls.
You think it's the eye rolls?
Yes.
Oh.
I for sure think so.
I actually think it's what comes because of the eye rolls. Like my mom telling me to go shovel the snow or whatever, getting me up to shovel snow.
Yeah.
Like that
And
probably got some
that's
eye
a
rolls.
character building experience.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong. Until they have a robot that replaces that functionality, which I really hope is around by the time I have no children at the home anymore.
Can I
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to call them on the phone and tell them to get my slippers.
actually I have 2 things here.
I don't actually tell my kids to get my
To
slippers.
go get your
Please
slippers?
comment below
Dude, I'm gonna have to
on that mess.
I'm gonna have to cut this down majorly. We're 52 minutes just talking about physical keys. I love this.
Are we gonna run out of battery today?
Maybe
Oh,
we'll
boy.
have to pause in between sesh 1 and sesh 2 to recharge.
Charge a
Yeah.
battery.
I was gonna talk about 2 other things really quickly that you brought up.
Okay.
This is like we're going off the rails, but I'm just feeling it
Just
today,
go.
so-
Let's go.
So another thing that bothers me way more than it should, and it's only started recently, and this, I don't think this one will go away when I have children.
Someone's at my front door.
Okay.
Should
Another.
we see who it is? I could ring camera and find out.
We're on the subject of smart
I'm
devices.
just kidding.
Okay.
Keep going.
This bothers me more than it really should. I know it. It's not that much effort. It's not that much time. I should just do it. I know that, but it makes me so sad that I don't think there's going to be a robot to do my laundry. for
Ooh.
a number of
Laundry
years.
is a situation.
Because like the older I get and the more time I have spent doing laundry, the more I hate doing and specifically folding laundry. Like,
So I think the Japanese have taken care of this problem,
do they?
and I really think that we should implement the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
At the 7-Eleven in Japan, you can basically buy a full outfit for like under $12. Like I'm talking a white shirt, a tie, pants, socks, and undies
Huh.
for like 12, $15. You roll up in there, you buy the thing once, you wear it a couple days, and you chuck it.
See, but doesn't that bring up a question about waste? Like
No,
clothes
because
waste?
there's like specific recyclers, and then just go wash it. And
Resell it and you just buy the same outfit again
I don't know what the process happens after that. I know that there are specific places where you can go
and just
and
dump
drop
clothes.
clothes.
Interesting.
But here's the deal: like, there's only like 3 options. So if you want a pink shirt or whatever today, that's not happening.
Right. Okay.
You're gonna have to Kool-Aid dye it yourself.
Okay. And then they'll just wipe out the Kool-Aid or clean out the Kool-Aid.
I don't know. I don't
Bleach
know.
it out.
I don't know what happens after that.
Mm.
I'm just saying,
So
no laundry. I like.
So you feel the same. You dislike laundry.
I
then.
dislike laundry.
Do you know,
I cannot wait until I get to the point where I have enough excess money to just take my clothes to a place and
to a
have it
place
laundered.
and they have it laundered?
That's actually a very popular thing in Australia. There's
it?
like neighborhood laundry shops where
Oh.
they just charge you by the kilo or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah, that's like a really popular thing.
That is an interesting one. I mean,
I would absolutely do it. But I need 2 kids gone.
right. Need
Otherwise,
to
I
save
can't
some
afford
cash.
it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know. The one thing, it's the thing that gets me every time is my socks.
Yeah.
And I know I have a problem with socks because I kept buying.
I know a website you can just buy new socks.
Well, hold on. I know a lot of websites that I can buy new socks.
I know.
I know where you're going with this. Anyways, I bought crap socks for a while because they would always get holes in them and I'd always end up chucking them. So I'd buy more crap socks and then more crap socks. And then recently, a couple months ago, I had it. And so I have owned 2 pairs of Nike socks for 7 years. And my little brother actually owned them before that. And they, to this day, do not have a single hole in them.
Recycled socks? Is that hand me up socks?
Yeah. It's a unique situation. But
Huh.
I stole his socks. And they are the best socks I've ever owned. I'm telling you, I wear out socks very quickly. And these socks, I've worn them every other week or whatever for 7 years and not a single hole in these socks. And so a couple months ago, I said, I went to the Nike store. I bought like 15 pairs of their
super nice
their
socks.
best socks. And it happened to be on a sale at the time. So it was expensive, but it was like $100 for.
But it was $100 less than it could have been.
Yeah. Yes.
Listen, there's a lot. Socks are a big deal.
Dude.
I also don't care for washing socks. I tend to purchase socks that are more expensive because I don't want to wear. And if they're like gym socks or black socks, I tend to just wipe those out of my laundry like every year.
Yeah.
I just go to Costco and buy a new bag of socks.
So
and chuck them all.
That was the thing. I actually got interesting colors socks, and I intentionally got ones of different colors and patterns.
Yeah.
Because what I now do is I just dump socks into my drawer unmatched, and then because all of them are so uniquely colored, it's immediately easy for me to just grab 2 socks.
Oh, you're talking about folding socks.
Yeah. Well,
I quit folding socks decades ago. I don't fold my socks.
Yeah.
I don't fold my socks or like my undershirts or any of that stuff. It goes right in the drawer.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if I'm feeling like,
bougie,
particularly bougie, I fold my socks and underwear. But yeah, I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
I hate folding socks.
It's just that like
it's the biggest waste of time.
That's what I feel like.
Of this earth.
That's what I feel. It's like 15 minutes. And 15 minutes is not that much, but like when you've gotten home from work and you finish eating dinner and cleaning up dinner and doing the dishes or whatever, which is another thing that is annoying. But when you're done with all of that and it's 7 o'clock at night and you've got T minus 3 or 4 hours to do anything with yourself before you go to bed,
Yeah.
and it's going to take you 15 or 20 minutes to fold your laundry, you're like, screw this, dude. You got me messed up. Like, there's no way that
So
I'm going to spend this time.
This is a great. I'm going to tell you a story. I have traveled for companies before where if you were traveling for longer than 5 days, you could get laundry done at the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
which is ridiculously expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you've ever looked at like the laundry menu in a hotel.
Nope.
Go to like a General Marriott where they have like the little bag in the closet with the laundry. You feel it's like $8 for them to wash and iron a shirt,
A single shirt.
like a shirt. It's ridiculously expensive. So I was going to be in a place for 2 weeks. 10 days in, I sent like 5 pairs of like 5 outfits, full outfits, so that I could finish the trip out. Right. $200-$400 later, I had all my laundry done. Like the day I sent it down in the morning, it comes back at night or whatever. My socks were like matched up, ironed, pressed, the whole deal. And I thought, I really want to know who did this so that I could go tip them, because I know it is like an underpaid human being that is laundering my clothing and folding and ironing those socks. I would have been totally happy if the socks came back in a bag, just unsorted.
Uh-huh.
Like that would have been thrilling.
Yeah.
Like there's no benefit to actually like folding a sock and laundering it properly.
Yeah.
Like wash it and then throw it in a drawer.
Mm-hmm.
No one sees it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
It
like
goes in
I'm
your
hiking
feet. Yeah.
It's not like I'm hiking my pants up or taking my shoes off.
Who cares if it's wrinkled?
Who cares what it looks like?
It's getting stretched over my gross feet anyway.
Right. Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have no love for sock folding.
Yeah.
I don't even when I help my kids do the laundry, I do not
Fold socks. Yeah.
I'm like, I will hang your shirts on hangers, but all of this just needs to go in that drawer.
I'm going to ask you a question then.
Okay.
I like automated solutions, and I know that they're not always perfect, but like, for example, I have a Roomba, and I quite like the Roomba. We still have an actual vacuum that we'll use every couple months to like do a little bit deeper of a clean.
Okay.
But I love that I come home and the carpet has got the nice lines in it.
Yep,
Roomba,
got it.
Right. Roomba was like $800. We went for like a slightly nicer one that does the mapping at the time. It's a couple of years ago. If it was $5,000 for a laundry doing robot, like it will, maybe you have to dump it in. Maybe it's almost like a washer dryer kind of situation with some kind of assembly line.
I can already answer this question with a yes.
You would already definitely buy this.
I would mortgage my house and buy it.
For $5,000, you would definitely.
I would spend 10 on it. I would legitimately spend $10K on a laundry machine.
You know, I'm laughing, but I would probably too.
I absolutely would. It like laundry is the worst. Like it never ends.
Laundry
never ends.
Mm-hmm. And there's no joy.
There's no love. There's absolutely no love.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where human beings have like convinced themselves that it's a requirement, and our textile companies do not manufacture cheap enough clothes for it not to be a requirement.
Yeah. So, that's actually interesting because I was talking about this.
If you hadn't noticed already, I don't care what I wear. And I'm pretty sure I've recorded in this shirt before.
Is this a favorite of yours?
I own like 10 shirts and that's it.
Okay.
I'm so, if I just a toga, I'm a Roman and I just want a white sheet.
I've wished I could wear a robe before.
Just wear a white sheet.
Yeah. I was talking about this the other day as well, and I actually saw like wasn't on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but it was on Reddit or something. It was somebody talking about how laundry is a scam, and I've thought that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing an undershirt under this, right?
Sure.
Why am I washing this every time?
So
I wear it.
I for sure don't.
I don't either, but I used to.
I have hoodies that I will only wash every 5 or 6 times. I wear them.
Like there's no sweat actually touching them.
Right.
Okay, the underarms maybe get like a little damp if it's like summertime or whatever. And
why are you wearing that in summer?
I'm not wearing this in summer. It was because it was cooler today that I wore this. But like you know what I mean? In
Oh,
fact,
100%.
the like CEO of Levi's or something said that you should really only wash your Levi's once every. I want to say he said something kind of high, like 7 to 11 times or something that
So
you
there's
wear
like,
it.
like Anderson Cooper. I've read stories about Anderson Cooper who doesn't wash his jeans.
Yeah,
Like they're like that's a legitimate thing.
it totally is.
Like first of all, I hate wearing jeans to start.
Right.
And so if I'm gonna wear jeans, a brand new out of the wash pair of jeans is not something I want to put on
Yeah.
my legs.
Yeah.
Like that's just stupid.
Huh.
If I were gonna go out like that, I would put them on and wear them around in my house.
Yeah.
Like the day before. I just try and like
Wear
work
'em in.
just like break them in a little bit. Like a pant wearing machine to break your pants in. That would be great. I would probably wear more jeans.
I actually don't need that specifically, but
Like a robot that goes for a run. Goes for a run in my jeans.
I'm just imagining like the Boston Dynamics robot, except that it's got like
It has
real human-esque
pants on.
legs,
Yeah.
like from the Christmas Story.
With pants on.
Yeah, with pants on. How much would you pay for that one?
I don't know. I don't like jeans. So
Okay.
I mean, but if I were like a jeans wearing human, like,
Yeah.
I'd pay a lot for it. I'd pay
Yeah,
a Roomba price for like
a
a-
gene breaking
like
in
a
robot.
gene breaking in robot.
Hey, anybody out there, if you make a laundry robot of any kind or variety, we will test it and review it. Not that many people watch us yet, but you know, one day this might be an investment. So hit us up.
This might be a
Hit us
thing.
up. I'm gonna talk something a little
Are we shifting gears?
yeah, really quickly from laundry.
No more. You want me to hear a funny sock story?
Yeah, tell me a funny stock story.
This is a pretty funny. We're gonna close it out with a funny sock story.
All right.
So I went to a convention, a tech convention one year,
Okay.
and I was working on a phone system and a call recording platform. And there's like a cloud-based call recording platform out there where you just like send your audio to it, and then they analyze it and do some stuff, and it's like pretty cool. And they were at the convention. The sales guy that I had talked to on the phone was at this conference. And I went, and I'm sitting in their little booth because they all set up their little, with some nice, they had some couches. So I was sitting on the couch. I was chit-chatting with the thing. And and the guy introduces me to this other guy. He's like, this is so-and-so. And I didn't know who he was. I had no clue who the guy was. And so I'm talking, and they go get me like the little swag bag, you know, and they're like, here's a swag bag.
Wheeling and dealing.
And
yeah.
I looked. It was very popular that people were handing out socks at that convention. I probably had 15 pairs of socks, and I look in the bag that they gave me. And I was like, "What? No socks? What kind of crap is this?" And I was just giving the sales guy a hard time. And then the guy who he had introduced to me, like, took a little bit offense to it. He's like, "We have socks." He's like, "Why aren't we doing socks?" He's like, "Who was on the swag bags? Why aren't there socks in the swag bags?" And I got frustrated with him. I was like, "You guys are the only people that aren't doing socks." It was the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
I was yelling at him about not putting socks in the stupid swag bags.
That sounds like a CEO thing to do though. Like and I bet, I don't know, did you end up getting socks from them?
I did. He
did?
he
Okay.
sent his like admin sent me 2 pairs of socks.
Oh, personally, after.
Personally, yeah, after.
Because that sounds like the kind of thing, like CEOs are often on meetings and they thought they heard something, but
Yeah.
then it wasn't final. It's like he thought he heard that they were putting socks in the swag bag, but that got nixed 3 weeks ago and he was never updated on it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. hmm Anyways,
I still have the socks.
nice.
They're good. They're good socks. I wear them pretty regularly. Only in the wintertime though. So that's my other problem with socks. Like I don't want to wear socks.
Right.
And
Well,
so
you're
I
a
wear,
sandals man.
I
You're a
wear
sandals
flip
man.
flops more frequently than I wear socks.
Yeah, you're a sandals man.
Yeah.